Oh my. Where is the line in sharing our life on social media? In sharing our personal life when we run a business account on social media? I get this question all the time. And I think as creative, multi layer, multi-dimensional beings, sometimes we wonder, is this too much? Is this enough? Should I be more strategic? Should I create a separate Instagram account? I'm sure you've had some of those questions. And in my last 10 years of having those dilemma myself, but also realizing what it truly means to build a personal brand online as a creative that runs a creative business, I now understand social media really differently. And I know there are so many opinions out there, right? Of being on every platform or start with one until it blows up and then you're allowed to. And the way that I see it now is it's all about what is the world that we're building and having a clear business in our mind. Because when you have a clear business, a clear offer, a clear positioning, a clear audience, and you know exactly what you stand for, this is just the door of working with you closely. But there is a whole world around you that is what allows people to vibe with you, to feel your energy, to feel resonance in your worldview, in the way you show up, in the way you be. And that world is so much broader and bigger than any business proposition ever can be. And so let's say you're a graphic designer, just for illustrative purposes here. It's very clear, right? There's no need to get all fancy about titles. It's like, I'm a graphic designer. I design beautiful website, right? We get so caught up in making it complicated, and I think that will be a whole separate video. But you're a graphic designer, okay? That's simple. You have an offer, you do website in a weekend. That's clear. Your audience are busy moms that are really into beautiful aesthetic, but not tech savvy at all, cannot for the life of them drag and drop on Squarespace. So they just want to tell you what they want, show you their Pinterest board, and you make magic and make it happen. Okay. This is a clear business, clear audience, clear offer. Now, your world is so much bigger than that. And there's a reason why people will choose you specifically over the other hundreds of thousands of graphic designers in the world. And that's why I think it's such an illusion when we think about, you know, oh, there's already so many people out there doing what I do. I need to get all fancy about my offer and make it sound really complicated. I think this is a big illusion we've been sold. A big illusion and a big distraction we've been sold. Because if somebody tells you they run a coffee shop, do you ever go and be like, oh, but there's so many out there? No, you're like, oh, fun. Where is it? How good is your coffee? There is enough people in this world for whatever you do to have plenty of clients and be booked out. 100% believe that. And so, what is the differentiator? The differentiator is the way it feels working with you, the way you perceive things, the way you see patterns in a way that others don't, the way you're magical at certain edits, and the way you spend your weekend. And if you're romantic at heart, or if you read certain books, like whatever is part of your universe and is part of your world that you choose to talk about can belong in your universe. And it's funny because nobody ever hired me because I was educated, like a good educator on social media, or because I gave good tips. In fact, I would argue that pretty much every single person that follows me on social media, yes, they have maybe applied some of my wisdom on, reaching out or DMs or sales. But the reason they reach out every single time is because they vibe with me. They resonate with my energy. There's a curiosity to me as a person that would do something for them. And I remember reading, I don't remember who said it, but someone at one point in the world said, people hire their friends. And I heard it recently again, and it really stuck with me because it is so true. Not because of lack of opportunities to hire so many people out there, but because of the ease and the simplicity of going for the person you already know and trust, or that your friends already know and trust. if you think about it, even in a local neighborhood, you'll go to the local coffee shop that you already trust. You'll refer your friends to the person you go to for your massages. Like they will ask you, hey, do you know anybody doing good massage? Or do you know anybody doing website? They'll ask you first because that's what we naturally want. We want the simplicity of finding someone we can trust. And if we vibe with our friends, we probably will vibe with the people they chose to hire because everyone has a filter and a discernment. And that's why I always say when you say yes to a client, you say yes to their entire network. Think about it. Every single clients you've had, they referred you or they talked about you to their friends. And guess what? Their friends are like them. I remember a couple years ago, I was kind of in a engineer like networking community. Somehow I got an engineer client, and then I got referred more people in that field that were more into, software or business from that technical point of view. And I remember seeing, wow, everyone in their network shares a similar background, a similar vibe. Think about a friend that is a dancer. She hangs out with dancers and actors. So it's interesting how online it's just a bigger amplified signal of this. We naturally attract people that have similarity to us because in real life, that's how it would work. You go to the local yoga studio, you make yoga studio friends. You go to Pilates, you make people that are into Pilates as friends. And online, it's very similar. I don't know why we make it so separate and so complicated. Whatever you love will attract people that love similar things. I'm into fantasy books and flowy feminine dresses, women sharing their voice and their poetry between trees and moss and rivers and the sea. And my For You page is full of that, full of beautiful, radiant goddesses sharing their magic in the world, in nature, cooking healthy meals, sourdough. I look at someone else's For You page and it might be, tarot reader and spiritual prediction about the next moon cycle. And you look at somebody else and it's only motivational quotes and athlete or anime. And there's so much truth and mirroring to our own inner landscape in that. And that's why it's important to remember when we're building our universe online, we can get strategic, we can try to tell people everything that we know. But when do you ever hire someone because of what they know? You hire someone because you like what they do and you trust that they do what they say they do. In a way, if your friend says they're a photographer and you check their page and you vibe with their photos, but you also vibe with the way they spend their weekend at the beach with their friends and, make a beautiful outdoor fire under the moonlight and the stars. And the way they always go running to catch sunrise in the morning, because you're also a runner. You'll feel familiarity, you'll feel trust, you'll vibe with them. And if their photos are good, you won't be like, but are you a certified photographer? You'll just be like, sounds good to me. I like what you do. And so we really only need two things. We need a little sense of proof of work, right? So if you're a photographer, show a bit of your photos. If you're a graphic designer, show us your website. As someone that does business coaching, I showcase some of my perspective on business and leadership, but also testimonials. But mostly, show all that you vibe with. And the line is yours to draw. Because there are some things part of our inner world and inner landscape that we don't necessarily want to share. And when it comes to, hard experiences or situations of hardship, I personally believe the best time to share is once it's been integrated and becomes embodied wisdom. That's for me. But I know some women that are like, guys, this just happened 3 minutes ago. And for them, that's the most natural thing to do. And that's why I don't believe there's a certain line. For some people, they share in real time crying, and that's their vibe. And for some people, they need 5 years to integrate. And then they might share their wisdom as elders of this lesson they integrated. And that's the beauty of social media and building this. All rules are made up, and the line is yours to draw. What feels good to share right now might not feel good to share in a week, and you're welcome to delete it. What feels good to share right now might feel like private information in 5 years, and you no longer share about it. Same as, people about their children. Sometimes people say, I will never share them. And then 3 years later, they're like, I will share them from the back. The line gets to move as you evolve, as you grow, as you change, as you discover yourself, as you get to know yourself. And that's why business is spiritual, and it is a process of self discovery. And it is an invitation to really just find your way to express yourself in the world so that your people can find you and see your signal and build familiarity and build a certain sense of friendship with you. I love cold outreach, and I love putting yourself out there in front of strangers. And I've done it, and it served me well. And I have so much to share about this, but I do truly now see the power of being really in your feminine energy of receiving, but also being so sovereign in your energy. There's nothing more magnetic than being certain about who you are, how good you are at what you do, who you're for and who you're not for. And that's why instead of asking yourself, how do I build a stronger brand online? Ask yourself, how do I build more certainty about who I am? How do I build more conviction about how good the work that I do is? How do I build more clarity around what I'm really here to offer? Because once these are clear and you get to show up in your own willingness, in your own freedom, in your own flow, you'll notice that naturally your world will be filled with like-minded, incredible people that are just like you. And that's why it's truly true, truly true, truly. We're not meant to be for everyone because there's enough people for everybody. That's what I believe. I think there's so many cool people out there that have so many cool, quirky edges. Even as a musician, I had this fantasy in a way when I was younger of being this dark, feminine, moody, mystical woman wearing black and leather on stage. Yeah, I'm a sunshine. I'm a bubbly daylight sunshine girl. I don't vibe with the night. I vibe with the sun and the sea and the light energy and the light feminine and the light witchy energy. And it took me a long time to see this as cool, right? That's the thing. Everything that is you fully is cool. Everything that is distorted or that is copied or that is in its hidden shadow state isn't as magnetic. And that's why if you feel like right now nobody's attracted to you, nobody's pulled to you, maybe it's because you haven't fully owned in your fullness. So food for thought. Are you fully you? Yeah. Have a beautiful day. It's Saturday. I will be um, chilling today, cozy, writing some songs, making some food. Might go to the beach. Let's see. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments or slide in my DMs at Your Secret Co-founder. And if you want one-on-one guidance to find your way, you know where to find me. And yeah, let's continue the conversation.